Hey everybody, this is John Scarborough. Wanted to show a little video, follow-up video on this creek crossing I've got right here. This is by no means as high as this water gets. This is just kind of, honestly, this is kind of the midway point, how high it gets. I wanted to show how well this thing works, okay? This creek is pretty high today. We've had some pretty decent rains. They're supposed to continue on tonight. We may fill up some more. So when it gets this high, you really get some water moving down through here, and you get water and limbs and leaves and everything else from everybody upstream, miles and miles and miles upstream. And you can see we're getting some pretty good ripples through here. But this right here, this fence is handling it very well, this creek crossing. I should be on the other side, but I'm gonna just go ahead and let y'all know it's very difficult to get across when the water's this high. The only crossing is an actual low water crossing, and there's just no way I can get across there without a boat. So anyway, just take a look at that. I'm gonna try to do the best I can from this side. You can see it's just laying back, and that I have been out here when those are laying back all the way, completely backwards, and the water's actually above that piece of pipe that's holding it. I've never had this not hold up well. It all does very, very well. You can see back in here where I've got it. Trying to get a good shot there without falling off this side of this bank over here. But this does a lot of ripping and roaring through here, okay? Before we put this up, before I built this right here, we would have, I mean, you see all this pile up right here across this. There's a pretty good bit of pile up here because all the water comes down through there. We got a tree on the fence over there. All of the water comes through all of this and ends up in this creek, so it carries all the leaves and limbs and everything. So if you don't have something there that will relieve that pressure, it's just going to build up a dam worse and worse. And that's kind of what got me to building this right here, this creek crossing, was the fact that there was so much pile up down here and it was just so bad. In fact, funny story, this was my father-in-law's place. When I first met my wife, I came to visit the family. This is the first thing he showed me, was this creek, and they had a gate down in the bottom of there, and it was just a problem. It was raining about like this. It's actually really good memories for me because, like I said, that's when I first met my wife. But this is just the first thing I saw, and then, you know, we put this design together and built this, and this works very, very well. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to do a little follow-up. Sorry that you can't see it so well. Kind of let y'all see what we're looking at here. Like I said in the previous video, if someone would like to see a little bit more of the dimensions or something on this, I could probably make another video. I will probably be building another one of these in the future. It won't be this elaborate. This is the worst place on the property. But of course, we try as farmers to save all the money we can. So if we don't have to do something like this, we won't necessarily. We could do something a little bit less elaborate. But usually we use these kind of things for perimeters, property perimeters, somewhere where we know it's going to be a problem for cattle to get out. So a place like this, I have never had any trouble with cattle. They just come right up to it. They see it, and to them it looks like a fence, and it's actually got some decent weight on it. It's wood, so it floats, but it's got some pretty good weight on it. So it's not like, it's not like they're just going to barely touch it and it move out of the way. They have to intentionally push that out of the way. Now, if there was a lot of grass out there or good place to graze, you would want to do something a little bit different. I don't really know. I have come up with some ideas for places like that. So if anybody's interested, if they have a place like that with some actual grass and this doesn't quite work for them, sorry, I had my glove in the way there. This doesn't quite work for them, let me know. I have come up with some decent ideas, I believe, that would actually work even in a place like that. So anyway, guys, thanks for listening to me ramble on. This is a good little follow-up. This is a decent example of how much water this creek gets. I've seen it quite a bit above that right there, so it could easily get another 6 foot for sure of water in there. I mean, I've seen it probably another 8 foot up to that second barbed wire upward. Okay, so I mean, I've seen it all the way up to there. So if you look down on that second barbed wire, how far above that gets pretty high. So anyway, guys, thanks everybody. Don't forget to subscribe if you like videos like this. If the content is not very helpful to you, that does not mean it won't be helpful to somebody else. So share the content. Put a like button on there, okay guys? So help me out. Thanks.